Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Silva, and we're gonna keep going on with the material glossiness. Now, uh, previously we did the matte here, kind of like a pillowy kind of shape, matte surface. Now we're gonna go ahead and dive into making a glossy surface. You can see the example of if a surface is glossy and the light comes in, and in some areas it can go in completely different directions, making it a little bit matte. But for the most part, uh, we're actually gonna have already reflections and highlights, where previously we don't really have any highlights, even though we had a very strong light source. Now, same as before, we're gonna go ahead, and this time I'm gonna use a little bit of color in it. Let's use like a green. Gonna draw the same shape as in as the matte one, so we can have some kind of context and example to show one right next to another. Right. For this time, actually, I'm gonna start painting with just a purely soft, round brush. Nothing really special. And the reason for that is that I'll be able to build up my sharp edges and my soft edges more easily that way. The end result is going to be more of a glossy result. So kind of trying to do the same here. Let's erase a little bit. The eraser itself should be soft as well for now. Building up our shape. And we'll use the same type of light source. Now here the side is brighter actually than on the light source, and it shouldn't be. Yeah, something like that would be good. Now on our light source. Now right now it's very blurry. Don't worry about it. Don't worry too much about it. It's gonna look a-okay. We're just building up our lights and darks slowly, making sure that there's a nice transition between one another. And we're gonna pop in later on with the highlights, and it's gonna make everything much sharper, and also the shadows are gonna be sharper. Essentially what we want is hard light, soft midtones, and hard shadows. So hard, soft, hard. It's, that's what we're going for here. And that's important, and I say that about the edges because edges are very important in portraying the type of material. It has a lot to do with edges as well as light, of course, which is what we've been mainly talking in the past video. And you can see as I make my brush smaller, even though it's a soft brush, it's still gonna give a harder edge than if I would try to, do a hard edge with a bigger sized brush. So I guess that's a good tip. If you have whatever brush you're painting with and you want to make it harder or softer, just increase or decrease the size. Decreasing makes it naturally harder edged, and increasing makes it naturally softer edge. Unless your brush is 100% opaque. In that case, it's not going to change much, to be honest. So we're slowly building in the same kind of light setup as we had. And here in the middle needs to be a little longer, like so. I'm just comparing between the matte and the glossy shape here. Right. Now I'm erasing also with a soft brush for now. I can make it smaller. It's gonna give me a harder edge on the eraser. And we're gonna start taking care of these edges a little bit more. Right? It looks like well, I don't wear glasses, but I know for a fact that it looks, right now it looks like if you don't wear glasses and you're a person who needs glasses. But I have a lot of friends who wear glasses, and my fiance, she wears glasses occasionally too, and that's exactly how she sees without them. So let's just give a little bit more of a shape here. Right there. Yeah, I believe we're ready to move on to a harder edged brush, both for painting and erasing. Let's first change my erasing brush to a very hard one, and I'm gonna start erasing some areas of this shape. Give it a crisp edge. Right now it looks a little weird, but don't worry, because we're gonna paint the rest and make it harder. So as I was saying, we want that transition, the transitioning between one area to another, we want it to be soft without any kind of speckly kind of looking texture, as soft as possible. Well, all the speckle or all the speckly kind of texture here and there will be added manually. Okay, now let's change. Wait, I'm not actually done. Should give it a little harder edge here, especially on the shadow side. And okay, now we're ready to move on. Let me pick a brush here that looks smooth. You know what? Let's just go with a normal round brush, right? That'll still give us a smooth kind of looking texture, as long as we keep working on it. I can also, sorry, I can also use my smudge tool and just, I use it a lot for cleaning up areas where I want it to be, smooth. Let's give it some more harder edges here. Smooth it out a little bit more. We still haven't introduced any highlights or any, you know, right now it's almost, if I put it black and white, you can see it's even a little bit darker than the matte version. But that's okay, because we want to build these slowly. We don't want to hurry up and make a mess. It's all about steps. All right. Now if I'll start, just 1 second actually. Now if I'll start making some of these edges here, I'll have to do it manually. That's okay. Some of these edges here, they're blending a little bit with the background. We gotta separate them. Like so. Now there you go. Now we're slowly getting somewhere. The outer edges, the silhouette, is quite important to whatever you're rendering. You know, just as a general thought. It's important that they're not too soft, not too hard. You know, they have a nice balance to them. I haven't been paying much attention to this side. Let's go ahead and do exactly that. Now some of these edges have to be hard. Now, usually, as a beginner artist, you might end up having your pieces looking like they're super glossy. So that means all that means is that you're using too much very bright colors and very dark colors in a lot of places. Like in, for example, you're doing like what might be happening is you're doing this and then that and then this again and then that again. Like the contrasts are too high, so if you start toning it down, um, you'll be able to control much more what kind of material you want to go for. Like it's okay to go for a highly glossy material, but if you're doing skin, skin is not very highly glossy, right? So you want to be able to control that. Skin is a mix of matte and with some areas of glossy depending. For example, like the nose tends to have some specularity, right? Alright, so right now all I'm doing is introducing some harder edges before moving on to changing any values. And there you go. Alright, now it's much less blurry than before. We'll still keep going, fixing the edges as we go, but right now the most important thing is to fix the light. So we're gonna grab this. We want our light to be kind of a lime color. Since this is green, a lime color light, slightly lime color will fit well here. So let's just draw in the same light. So boom. Like that, and make it a glowy. Make it a very glowy. Okay. Now one thing I'm noticing straight away, as soon as I put that, I forgot to add in my shadows. So let's create one layer underneath and wait, wrong color. Like so. some ambient occlusion shadows right here, and we'll be able to judge our values on the object itself much better as well. All right, cool. Now, moving on, let's make this bright. I'm gonna lock transparency. That means that whenever I paint, I can just, it won't go out from the shape. That's very, very handy. Now, let's pick this up, make it brighter and towards lime, a little bit more green. And there you go. So we want to make this glossy looking. So yeah, let's put in first our highlights. So basically all that means is this is reflecting the main light source. Well, we only have one light source here really, and then ambient light, but it's right in between here. And add a little bit of it right here. It's gonna have a shape like that, following some of that. Right now it's too hard. We're gonna smooth that out, but first let's just draw in the shape of it a little bit. Okay, so like that. And I know that here at the edges, there's gonna be a little bit of it too, because there's a little bit of a bevel here. It's gonna be brighter, but I want it to be brighter, the color, not the highlight. So I'm gonna search for, there you go, like so. I'm gonna be blending this up very soon. Here. Alright, so let's start blending this. Make our brush soft, like so. Gonna start blending it up. Now it's gonna look a little bit fuzzy at first, just like before, but that's okay. We'll always go in and with a harder brush we'll fix it up. There you go. Okay, back to the round brush. Start making some of these edges a little harder looking. Like I'm also using the smudge tool. I can bring some of the edges of it harder while blending at the same time. Like so. All right. Now we're starting to have something that's gonna resemble more of a glossy shape. Material. And with that, there's a very good tool that can help us both in color and value with making things a bit more glossy, which is touch tool. I really like this tool. It's set to highlight. I'll pass it through gently, and it's gonna give a very nice warm glow. And actually, in some areas, I'm gonna make it quite reflective. Like you can see the reflection, but you can see the highlight of it. It's quite strong. That means also that we have to bring our darks as well. Sorry. Like so. Yeah, we're getting somewhere now. We're getting somewhere. So I'm gonna speed up the video. If I have something important to say, I'll stop it and say it. All right. So at this point, I feel like the values of it are right. I believe that it's time to add in some texture. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. So this went pretty nicely. I would consider this done, but actually before I want to give it the colors, I want to give it a little boost. So we're gonna go ahead, go to image, adjustment, and color balance, or just Control B for a shortcut. I want a bit of my highlights to have that yellow greenish tone, just a little nudge, and my shadows actually are alright. They don't need any adjustments. And also, you can go ahead, image, adjustments, and replace color. Now, this is a pretty neat tool. You can change directly the light and color, also saturation. So we're gonna bump a little bit of that saturation right there. And some of my midtones are a little too, you know, to give it a bit of a transition, like so. And my shadows, let's bring this down. This part to be a little darker, and a nudge to be different kind of green. How about here? Let's change it. Yeah, that looks all right. Right here, I believe I want a bit more saturation, like so. And I'm gonna just pass through with the color dodge a couple of times here and there, just to brighten things up. Check it in black and white. All right. And yeah, I believe we're done with the glossy material surface. So hope you guys learned something about it, and if it was enjoyable, leave a like and subscribe.